First, though, we're going to begin the show with some breaking news that we've just been getting out of Beit Lahiya. That's in the north of the Gaza Strip. We are hearing of a massive Israeli attack. Now, the details of this strike are still unclear, but Gaza's health ministry is calling it a, quote, horrific massacre. Let's go straight to Tareq Azzoum. He joins us on the line from Deir al-Balah in central Gaza. Tareq, I understand that the details are scant at the moment, but can you fill us in on what we do know?
Well, Laura, it's a very moving situation in the Beit Lahiya town in the north of the Strip, especially after the Israeli military attack on 5 residential buildings that are very densely packed with civilians in Beit Lahiya. They have targeted multiple families there, including Salman family, Al-Masri, and Abu Shabak family. These families are living in adjacent houses in the main central areas of Beit Lahiya, and the Israeli military is shooting anyone who is trying to get close to the location, and there is no sort of medical help till now took place in that area. Simply, the army earlier today had stormed the Kamal Adwan hospital. They have caused collateral destruction for the medical infrastructure there, and they have deliberately targeted multiple civil defense workers, even the vehicle that they have been using for transportation in northern Gaza. Also, a key official in Gaza's health ministry said that what happened in Beit Lahiya is literally a massacre, simply because there are lots of families under the rubble of these areas, under the rubble of the shattered houses, and they are unable till now to be rescued. And even the process of the recovery of these families will take too long time and need really a very advanced equipment for the civil defense members, who are, by the way, using their belly hands with a very primitive tools in order to recover anybody who is stuck under the rubble of that shattered buildings. And as far as we know, also the Israeli military is still, by the way, carrying out more airstrikes on the same site of the strike, where eyewitnesses have been describing the situation in Beit Lahiya to be critically escalating and dangerous. Nobody can get to the site of the attack, as the horrific artillery also bombardment continues to unfold. Not only Beit Lahiya, but also Jabalia refugee camp, where these areas were warned by the Israeli army, especially for its residents to flee. And families who have decided to not flee from Beit Lahiya or Jabalia, they will be targeted like these families that were hit just a few minutes ago.
Yes, Tareq, this is an area in the north of Gaza that's been under siege now for just over 3 weeks. All food, water, medicine cut off. No functioning or very few functioning hospitals. There's part of the Kamal Adwan hospital still functioning, but most of it not, after being raided and attacked by Israeli military. And also this area, Beit Lahiya itself, came under attack just 6 days ago, and at least 87 people were killed in that attack. Tell us a bit more about that, and indeed other attacks that we've seen just in this small area of northern Gaza.
Well, let me clarify for ourselves and even for our viewers, Laura, about the nature of the place there. Beit Lahiya and Jabalia considered to be the main 2 key urban centers in northern Gaza, especially that the army has been focusing on targeting, because families who have been displaced from separate parts of Gaza have headed to these areas, especially to its evacuation centers, in order to take it as a refuge. We saw Israeli occupation forces on multiple occasions have stormed evacuation centers, forced the displaced families to flee from these areas, destroy it and burn it to the ground. And in lots of cases, they have conducted a mass arrest campaign among the men inside these evacuation centers, just to make sure that families will not return back to such areas. And at the same time, Jabalia and Beit Lahiya are densely packed with civilians, and the army is trying to empty these 2 towns and villages from the main areas that could be a threat for the military in the Israeli eyes. And at the same time, these areas have been witnessing unprecedented attacks. Multiple airstrikes took place in Gedalia. Lots of families are still trapped under rubble, and the vast majority of apartment blocks in Fatlora have turned to be a graveyard, while people were really killed under the rubble of these areas without getting any sort of help.
OK, Tareq, for the moment, many thanks. Just remind our viewers that these are exclusive pictures that you're seeing of the aftermath of an attack on Beit Lahiya that we've just been hearing about in the past half hour or so. Reports that 5 inhabited homes in Beit Lahiya in the north of the Gaza Strip were targeted. Our correspondent Tareq Azzoum there reporting that anyone trying to get close to help people buried under the rubble is being shot at. This is Beit Lahiya in the north of the Gaza Strip. The Gaza Health Ministry is calling it a horrific massacre. As yet, no more details as to the number of casualties or any more details as to what was targeted or the nature of these strikes. We will be coming back to this story, though, when we get more information.